Hey guys, what's going on? It's Anthony Smith here. Today I got a cool video for you guys. I'm going to be rigging my 2016 Triton. I got new garments here and a new wiring harness. We're actually going to be making the wiring harness ourselves, and I'll show you what to do and where to get everything that you need if you want to do the harness yourself, because it's a super efficient way to wire your graphs. There's a lot of companies now doing it, and it's a super cheap way if you want to do it yourself compared to buying a harness pre-rigged. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll get these graphs unpackaged and we'll start tearing the boat apart and get everything started. Hey guys, we're at the point now where I'm going to be running my graph wires. We got a couple unpackaged now, and I just want to show you what I'm using for wire and how I'm going to splice that wire. So we'll start off with the main power source. This is going to be the harness itself. This is 12 gauge marine wire. I got about 50 feet of it off Amazon. I'm not too sure who makes it, just know it's 12 gauge marine wire. And to splice it, we're going to be using just these automotive crimps. They're butt splice. They just come in a 3-pack like that. They're for 12 gauge. They've got the built-in heat shrink on them. I like those ones compared to the ones with no heat shrink on them. I just think they're built better, and I don't know, they're tougher maybe. And then for double insurance, we're just going to be putting this regular heat shrink on it. And then to tidy it up, zip ties, everything else, you want to make sure you have a lot of zip ties, a lot of tape. But that's pretty much it. We'll start getting these wires run, and I will show you once I start hooking this harness up and show you kind of everything you need to know. Alright guys, I got my live scope box installed. I don't know why the Garmin, it comes with a short network cable from the box to the graphs, so pretty much everybody runs it like this, but I'll just show you kind of where I put it. I put it in the front of my driver's side broad locker, and I just put it tucked up on the side out of the way. And with it being there, the rods, I put my spinning rods in the side, or like my life jackets, rain suits, nothing gets in the way of it. So this, I'll show you, this is where I put it. So it's tucked right in here, nicely on the side. It's bolted to the fiberglass that's behind this wall. And if I show you kind of why I put it there, there's nothing that shows in my tackle storage space. So there's a gap that runs right here. It's about 2 inches. And you don't drill through the side here in the Triton, which is nice. So I have it bolted to the side, just like that. It's a super clean way to put it. It's out of the way, and that's what I would recommend. Depends on what type of boat you have, but that's what I recommend. All right, guys, I'm at the point where I'm gonna start running my harness through the boat. So I snaked a piece of metal through the boat, up the side here, up the gunnel. Why I did that is it's a lot easier pulling the wires back than it is trying to feed a wire through. So now we got our wires hooked up to our snake, which is that piece of wire right there. We will end up pulling the wire, which is right here. We will end up pulling this back, and then our wires will come to the battery, which will be right here, the cranking battery. So I'm using that 12 gauge wire I showed you earlier, and the way I'm doing it is I'm running one wire from the battery all the way to the front and one wire from the battery to the dash. So there will be no more plugging in from your dash to your graphs and from the dash on the front of the boat to your graphs. It's one straight wire, it's clean power, and the imaging that your graphs show is much clearer. It's getting full 12 volts all times. That's the way I've ran all of my boats since I've ever had a boat, only because in older boats they don't have the wiring that these new ones have. So when I was younger, I would run a wire for each graph right to the battery. But now I'm doing the same thing, just better. It's gonna be all on switches still, so you can turn it off. And that's the same as these new harnesses that everyone's coming out with now on the market. This is just me building it myself. It's very easy and it's very cost efficient. So when you're out on the water, a long tournament day, you don't have to worry about your graphs dying. I have enough power at the back, and I'll show you kind of what I'm adding on to 2021 for power, how I'm gonna power things because of my 2-stroke oil reservoir. So there's limited space back there for more batteries. Yeah, so that's what I'm up to right now. I'll pull this wire through. I'll show you guys how I'm doing it. And then we'll run it to the front after we get it all tied into the back. And I'll show you where we tie it into the back. Guys, we just got our wiring harness ran from the console to the back. I'll show you what it looks like here where I ran it. So in my Triton, it's pretty tight, not any extra tubes or nothing. So this is how I did it. I haven't ran it like this in the past. I've went from the battery up the middle through the live wells and under the seat, kind of ran it that way. But now it took a little longer, but it's definitely worth it. It's a lot cleaner. Use a lot less wire too. I ran it straight down the gunnel. So I fished it all the way through where all my power runs through. For every other cable that goes to my dash, it runs up the side in a tube. Well, I ran this beside it, and my cranking battery will go right here. So all the wires, all the connections, there's only gonna be a couple connections opposed to before where I ran everything totally separate. So it comes through there. And then for now I have it coming out of my dash right there, but this is where the key and everything goes. It will be fished up into the dash, and then the one that goes to the front will just keep on going to the front. So it's pretty clean. It'll work really nice and everything's tidy. So it's been a long day. We are getting pretty close to being done. I got all the graphs wired. I got my front graphs on. I'm missing my dual console double mount, which is going to be right there. I got all the wires up for it though. Everything's good to go. The harness is in, and so this is what the harness looks like when it's all ran. There's a positive and negative going to the dash and to the front of the boat, just one wire each, and then you run it to the back of the boat. Your negative wire goes on your battery, and I put my positive on my breaker switch so that you can still shut the power off to the graphs. You don't have to worry about the graphs always having power. So this is what it looks like. So the positives come out of the harness. This one goes to the front of the boat, and this one goes to the dash. So it comes in, both positive wires come to, I put heavier duty fuses in, than those glass ones it comes with. And then it goes into my main power breaker switch. It goes from positive into the switch, and then I turn it on. It goes to the next and goes to my graphs. Same as it would to your dash power and everything. And then the negative, just like I said, negative goes on the battery, and it's super clean this way. You can see I only have a couple terminals, like a couple wires on each terminal, so it really frees up some real estate. You don't have a super big mess going on in the back if you do it. And then as you can see, I got this extra wire here, and that is going to be because I've had power issues before, and I figured since I have a 2-stroke and I don't have any more room to put another battery at the back, big battery anyway, I figured I'm gonna be running this. It's a 30 amp hour, amped outdoors. It should run the Garmin LiveScope box for a long time. A tournament day, no problem. You even probably might even get 2 days out of it. We'll see. I will be putting it right to the test. So we'll get this installed. We'll get the battery tray in front of the oil reservoir. There's a little spot that we can fit it into. And then, yeah, that's how I'm gonna be powering these 4 graphs and the Garmin LiveScope setup. All right, guys, it's the end of the day. We've been here from sun up to sundown. I'll just kind of show you the finished product, how clean and simple it is. So as we go down to the batteries, I got the 30 amp hour amped outdoors. That is specifically only gonna run my Garmin LiveScope box. That's because I had power issues last year running all these graphs and the box off one cranking battery. The only reason I don't have the ability to put another cranking battery in, which I would like to do, is because I have this 2-stroke here and it has the oil reservoir, so it just takes up too much room. So then we ran our harness. You seen that earlier. I'm just waiting on my dash mount. There will be 2 10s there. Everything's wired, ready to go for it, ready to plug and play. And then we get to the front. I got the 2 Garmin's up top. That's kind of where the magic happens. And then we get over to the trolling motor. I put the regular mount back on the trolling motor shaft only because I have the perspective mode mount and I didn't use it as much as I thought I would, so it just catches less weeds like that. So thanks for tuning in. Be sure to keep an eye out for catch and release for Zone 20 coming up. That will be fun. As soon as we can get out, we're going. So we should get some footage of that. So thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for next time, and bye.